Yo, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to look at the ways that Reggie Jackson helped the Clippers to a win on Tuesday evening. Clippers like to run this action quite a bit, actually. I mean, if we're being completely honest about it, they run this action about probably 7 to 8 times a game. Here, Reggie Jackson looks like he's setting a little ball screen to allow Kawhi Leonard to slip up, but Jackson's going to pop off as Leonard digs down to set a cross screen. This allows Jackson to get a free release from three. Reggie Jackson's a very good catch-and-shoot three-point shooter, and he knocks this one down. One of the things that Jackson can do is put pressure on a defense, especially in transition as a ball handler. Here he's going to try to cross over the defender in front of him, and he does. He gets to the middle of the floor. He does get fouled here, but it goes uncalled. However, that's fine. He's going to step through the two defenders, and he has a layup right at the rim. Now, he misses the layup. However, the pressure that he put on the Washington defense allows Kawhi Leonard to get the offensive rebound and put back here. It kind of goes unnoticed how smart Jackson is as a player. This play doesn't start with him, but it will end with him. The best way to beat a switch is with a slip. Zubac slips the screen. George is going to get him here in the mismatch. Zubac spots Luke Kennard open in the corner. Is going to rifle the pass to the corner. As we can see here, Reggie Jackson's pointing for Kennard to pass up to Morris. He does. And Jackson's in the dunker spot open. Morris is going to hit him with a pass. He goes up with a little floater. Now, normally he would make this type of shot, but he does miss. However, as the ball gets batted around, Jackson comes back to it, and he's the first one to the ball to corral it. Goes right back up with a shot, and he ends up making this one. Hustle, determination, smarts. Jackson has it all. Jackson's also been really good this year at attacking closeouts. It's something he does really well. Here, Leonard's going to drive, and he finds Jackson open in the corner. As Jackson ends up getting the ball, he's going to pump fake and attack this closeout by Davis Bertans. Bertans is a bigger defender. Jackson thinks he can take him off the dribble, and this left to right crossover allows Jackson to do exactly that. He goes up with this tough contested floater. This is contested, but Jackson makes this shot right here. Once again, we're going to see Jackson put pressure on the defense behind the back dribble. This allows him to get back to the middle of the floor. He's then going to accelerate downhill, gathers the ball to go up to the rim. Is going to end up drawing a foul here against Bertans. This is just something that Jackson can do, especially in transition, that can help the Clippers offense at times. I like to look at the misses that players have because process matters here more than results a lot of the times. Jackson gets the ball, flows into a high screen with Zubac, comes downhill, attacks the dropping big, gets a good look in floater range. He does miss this. However, he'll be the first one back to the ball to garner the offensive rebound and grab it. The ball's going to get reset back to Batum, and Jackson's going to flare out to the corner as Batum drives. This allows Jackson to make himself readily available. He gets a good look from three. This is a shot Jackson can make, especially as a catch-and-shoot guy. He misses, but you love those two looks. Jackson at times is a director out there. You'll see him pointing, talking. He's trying to get everybody on the same page, which is a great sign. Obviously, the coaching staff trusts him to give him these minutes, and obviously the other players around him trust him to make these reads and to give him the ball when necessary. Washington going to send the second defender over to Morris in the mid-post. Morris is going to hit the flashing Zubac right near the nail. As Zubac goes to drive, Jackson is pointing for Zubac to pass to Mann, and he does. As Mann drives, Jackson raises his hand to instruct Mann, hey, I'm open. Mann's going to smartly hit him. Jackson pump fakes to draw the defender away and fly by. Jackson then resets in the corner, and he's going to knock down this wide open corner three-point shot. This is exactly the kind of stuff that Reggie Jackson can do. This might feel like a little bit of a case of deja vu. I'm not going to apologize. It's a similar play. Jackson sets a screen for Morris here near the nail. The Clippers know that Washington wants to switch this action, and they do here. The Clippers also know that because of this, it's going to create a mismatch in the mid-post between Morris and Beal, and that on the catch, the Clippers also know Morris is going to get helped off onto. As Morris catches, he spots that Leonard is going up to the top of the arc. The help came. Leonard gets the ball. Jackson raises his hand in the near side corner to let Leonard know that he's open. Jackson catches. Defender tries to close out. Doesn't get a great contest, and Jackson knocks this three-pointer down. You don't have to just be a director on offense. You can do it on defense. As we see here, Jackson's pointing for Leonard to pick up Beal in transition. Beal is the ball handler. But when Washington flows into this action, Jackson's going to switch. And Leonard's going to have to resort himself back to switching back to Jackson's guy. This was actually smart by Jackson. He knows that this would end up happening anyways. As Beal goes into a hesitation dribble, Jackson doesn't get like kind of out of sorts on this. And when Beal goes up to raise up for a three-pointer, Jackson gives a great contest without fouling, and Beal ends up missing the shot as the Clippers get the rebound. This isn't a great defensive play by Jackson, but it's good. Man gets screened up high. Jackson's going to dig down at the nail here to occupy the ball handler, allowing Man and Ibaka to contain this pick and roll. Jackson has to get back out to the shooter, but he takes a little bit too long, and when the pass gets there, he gives a great contest, but it doesn't really truly affect the shot, and Neto knocks it down. This was still good, though. Jackson at times really fights his way around screens. This play is going to begin with a handoff between Rui Hachimura and Bradley Beal, and then Beal's going to flow into a pick and roll with Robin Lopez. Jackson's going to do a great job getting over the top of this screen. Ivica Zubac helps out here by stepping up a little high, allowing Jackson to get back into it. Beal hard plants into a step back. Jackson closes the distance to crowd him as a shooter, gives a decent contest, and Beal ends up missing the shot. This is solid defense overall. What about one-on-one? How does Reggie Jackson do one-on-one matched up against Russell Westbrook in the mid-post? Well, here we go. As Westbrook backs him down and spins, we're actually going to see Jackson beat Westbrook to the spot despite the spin. There is contact made. This could be a foul. It goes uncalled, and Jackson does a good enough job to force a miss here. This is solid fundamental defense by Jackson. He's in good defensive position when Westbrook brings the ball into the front court. And as the ball kind of gets dribbled into a lifeless form by Westbrook here, Westbrook picks up the ball up. Jackson spots this and crowds him. This is going to force Westbrook to give the ball up and force Washington to reset their offense with half of the shot clock remaining. Jackson then does something smart. He goes under the screen. You don't need to go over the top of Westbrook's screens. He's not a good enough shooter for that to even be anywhere near the norm. As Westbrook goes to drive, Jackson beats him to the spot and uses his body. This is sound fundamental defense. And when Westbrook goes up with the layup, Jackson's in good defensive position to help force the miss and get the Clippers a stop here. Once again, just play smart, sound, fundamental defense. When Westbrook goes to drive, Jackson beats him to the spot and walls him off. This forces Westbrook further underneath the baseline area and underneath the basket and pushes Westbrook to attempt a very difficult reverse layup that he ultimately will miss as the Clippers get yet another stop. All right, this is our final play overall and defensively. Jackson's going to get over the top of this screen very well. Watch the way he snakes back into front of Bradley Beal here. He walls him off and stops Beal from driving. Beal's going to hard plant into a step back, and this is a shot Beal has made at a solid to good level all season long. He is the NBA's leading scorer, but Jackson gives a great contest and helps force a miss. What a game from Reggie Jackson.